Check, check, check. Do 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 do. Sup, chat?
So you think you know Wix, do you really? First up, we've got shape video masks. You can use different shapes to create completely different vibes and aesthetics. Or you can create your own graphic. I use the shape composition here. Just import any SVG
I didn't know we were
file
gonna
and
have
set it as
ads
a
on
shape
here.
mask. Nice. Next
It's
up,
not
we'll
ideal.
keep it moving with the hover box. You can use it to animate any element and create these really eye-catching interactions. And what I love is that the level
silky. Yo, thanks, man. This is probably one of our best colors. If you like the pink, blue, purple stuff, it's pretty nice. Not spinning too. Nice hoodie. Thanks, Alex. How you doing today? Diamond Plast too smooth. You got sicker during the day, or you're saying your kid's not sick? These ones are all a bit more consistent than maybe some of like the recent RBGs, but you can kind of see some of the differences here. So this one's got a little more white on it, and this one's is the Herdsman like the ultimate finger grind yo-yo? It like sits there. And I think the blast just came out perfect on him as well. Well, I'm glad the kid's fine. He's probably just a little sick from you whooping on him in Nerf War.
2024. With special guests Collective Soul and Edwin McCain. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
I think I'm about to go see Hootie and the Blowfish. We're gonna skip them ads. Is that all anodized? The brass rim. This has a brass rim insert into the side of the aluminum pressed in, so that's not anodized. It's just raw brass. Yeah, the three color wash is interesting. Some anodizers can do it, some can't. Sometimes they blend and wash nicely. Sometimes they don't wash at all and it looks patchy. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's the masking agent, the type of dyes, the temperature. Missed. Oops. What up, Isaac? Nice hat. GPG? What's that mean?
To tell me you want a new iPhone, a better plan's Verizon.
What's GPG mean?
And you'll get iPhone 15 Pro
I know they steal my this is our high school here. I know they steal this logo. Well, actually, this is our high school's logo. I used it to make my own hat cuz I don't like what they put out. What up, Nappy?
There's no need to wait for Black Friday to get new floors. Get the best prices right now at LL
Oh yeah.
Flooring's
So I
big
think the
Black Friday
Packers
sale with
the
up to
Packers use
25%
this,
off
Georgia
select
uses
flooring
this,
strips
and
and
then my
windows for 36
Green High
months.
School
Now's the
uses
time to let
this.
our flooring
It's
experts
some
help you
orange.
find floors that are in style and in budget. The Better Than Black Friday sale
Sconce
ends
needs
November
one of these with
14th.
green.
Don't miss your chance to save up to 25% on more than 300 floors. LL Flooring. Every step covered.
I don't know why I let that ad play. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. What up, Mr. Hines? Yeah, his dad is the founder of Heinz Condiments. If you need ketchup, he's your guy. This is what we're testing if you're just tuning in. These are a Unicorn Storm. It's a purple, blue, pink, clear washed colorway. These are on a brass Herdsman, so you'll notice the rim is brass or golden. Do you think it's more so over there than he would be here? 0. He's not even on the 1. Or he's so baked he couldn't answer correctly. He couldn't answer you on your scale correctly, so. Alright, I need to know a little more about this pancake house upstairs. It's a couple's house and they just make breakfast each night? Pancakes for people? What up, Matt? Tiny hole in the wall, pancake place, couple makes pancakes. Is this like just a place that people go that are visiting there, or is this a local spot? How's TikTok treating you, Matt? You guys didn't see that coming, did you? And if you say yes, I don't believe you. Oops, what was I doing there? Shoot. It's looking pretty good. I've got 12, 16 that have passed QC so far. I'm guessing maybe 10, 11 on the list, on the lottery list will get them. You brought it up, you jinxed it. Now we got another glitch. Those little B-boop grinds, just back and forth. So when I really practiced that for a while, I kind of made it like a waterfall, so you would go, but a little smoother looking. You got to get the angle of the fingers correct. Thanks, Matt. What up, Andrew? How else did I used to do it? Some weird grinds? I don't know. It's been a while since I really messed with the grinds. The Herdsman is just the grind machine.
Hey producers, if you want the best plugin for building and finishing tracks,
You know what I'd like? I'd like to skip this ad.
For the first
Loving the SL1000? Good. It's either an SL1000 day or not. It's hard. If you're going to go SL1000, you got to kind of stick with it the whole day. It feels goofy going normal in SL. It's going to be... Also, it's so slick. Maybe it's because it's winter too. My fingers are cold. I can't quite. Come on, just nicely. Just pop it in there. That's what she said. This one's a little vibey. You might have played. Why not? You could play it. I didn't say nothing about it, Matt. If you were content king, you could have had unboxing, you could have had a review, and then you gave it away. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's more YouTube stuff, and I kind of think that you're digging the numbers on the TikTok, but you're having great numbers, so it's hard to complain. The biggest positive for YouTube is it lives forever. It's also a negative because yeah, but your content can grow over time as people find it. That was the one. 1218. Nappy, we're gonna be looking at right around 10. We out here. We hit that. Oh. Waterfall GT, I can finally make another trick video on YouTube. So I don't think novice is the right term, right? So what do you think makes a competitive yo-yo to a novice throw? A competitive yo-yo to a novice throw, if you will? Is it materials? Is it design? What design that you do you feel is the strongest? So I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, Matt, besides what I'm getting from it is like a novice yo-yo versus a competitive yo-yo. So novice, outside of I would take that to beginner, I'm going to put it into a non-competitive or a fun yo-yo versus a competitive yo-yo. Too long didn't read the biggest statement that could be made is any yo-yo can be a competitive yo-yo. The best in the world are going to win with whatever yo-yo they have. You've seen people win with plastics that are the best in the world. Once you practice enough, it doesn't come down to the tool you're using, and they really just kind of they can use almost anything. And the reason they use the yo-yos they use once you're that good is because the royalties from that yo-yo is what they can use to pay themselves in yo-yo. That's like the only way to make money in yo-yo. If you're a sponsored player, there's not a lot of money in there. There's like a handful of people that are popular enough to make money selling a signature design yo-yo. Um, but other than that, I would say the biggest keys if you want to make a competitive yo-yo for the masses, for your lower end competitors that aren't into like they're not your top tier competitors, they're not finishing top three, they could get top three with their eyes closed. You want spin, stability. So you want your spin to continue through tricks when they bump a hand, and then the stability to continue so that when your throw is not perfect, your string is not lined up right down that gap, you're a little off, it starts twisting the yo-yo. The less stable your yo-yo is, when you hit the walls of your yo-yo with your string, it's going to start to tilt. So if you make a yo-yo that is rim weighted for more spin and stability, so add a little bit of width onto it, um, that's going to lead towards your competitive yo-yo for the masses that are entering the competitive scene. More so, I like that yo-yo for people that are trying to learn new tricks. Hopefully that somewhat answered the question there. Because I have yo-yos I enjoy, but they cannot spin anything like the Valhalla or Pelican. Um, the Valhalla I would put into that definitely competition based. It has a lot of rim weight. It's wide, it's big, it powers through things. Um, it's rude of me to check this. So, in the Pelican, I would have to compare it to something. It's not overly rim weighted, but it is a more higher rim weight percentage for a monometal. It is a monometal elite, OG elite. If you go all the way back to the elite, you look at the elite next to the solid Pelican. It's like the same design except for um, normal weighting heavier, 66, 67 grams, solid aluminum, and more rim weight. But then there's a lot of when you get too much center weight, you can quickly not be able to power through tricks, and then I would put those not in the competitive category, but they are a lot of fun, they're a lot more agile, but they lose their momentum when you're changing directions, and they can't power through a trick, especially with some string rub. So rim weight is necessary for a good competitive yo-yo to help stay stable and power through longer tricks, but um, when you're one of the best of the best, you're going to be able to use anything with a bearing. Hopefully that was insightful a little bit without trying to put. There's no connection there on trying to sell anything or tell you it's competitive or fun. That's just the way I see the landscape between competitive and novice style yo-yos. Like I would never tell somebody to go compete with the Afterlife. It has too much center weight. It's not heavy enough on the rim, and the walls are too high. If you're not dead perfect on your tricks, it's going to lose its spin. It's going to throw off plane. But overall, it's just a super fun, enjoyable throwing experience, which I believe is what most of us want. Then there is a small subset of people that are just trying to compete and then competing basically until they can kind of get like sponsorship. And then at that point, they decide, all right, that was too much work. I'm not getting anything out of this. Or they have the competitive drive and they want to be a top three, a top five player, a podium finisher constantly in contests. What up, Dirdak? Center weight definitely helps for regens um, because it can flip that yo-yo over. But you could also get into where a stable yo-yo regens, if you don't throw it off plane at all, it's perfect and that's silky, silky smooth. That's been Yo-Yo Talk with Jake. Tune in next week where we tackle, I don't know, whatever Matt asks. And fun's not the proper word, because competitive yo-yos are also usually fun, but it's just not um, optimized for trick building or competing. It could be used, a yo-yo could be used for it, but it's not optimal for it. I don't know that you used the wrong wording. It all gets kind of thrown into that. It's like the easiest way to say it is it's either competitive yo-yo or not, but it's almost like you could classify it as like, so the competitive yo-yos, they're always going to be just more rim weighted, usually wider. They're going to be stable and rim weighted. Um, Fun yo-yos, the you're right, Filthy. The pool is huge of those. Whether it could be tiny, it could be huge. It could be high wall. It could just be center weighted. Um, leisure, recreational, not competitive, but rec league. I don't know what the proper wording would be. Like you can use a Yo-Yo Factory North Star if you want to go to that. Like that's a plastic yo-yo. Um, to compete, but it's not necessarily like it was designed for one thing, and that was for an available mass-produced signature model of Jensen. Oh, there's definitely variation in the bimetal market, Mike. I mean, this is not a competitive yo-yo. It's a 48 gram bimetal. It's fast, it's stable, but it's not going to power through a full 1 minute combo most likely because it doesn't have the momentum to carry through mistakes. Randomizer Thursday. I don't know what we're gonna get. The best part about that maybe, or the worst part,
Summer Camp with Truck Stewart 2024.
um, is that there's some variation to allow me to design the yo-yo around the specs. Um, yeah, Mike, the SL1000 is a full size 48 gram bimetal. 7068 body, as thin as we could go, as light as we could go. So there's rim weight and width kind of give a yo-yo stability because how do we describe this? Like if you have like a 26-inch bike tire and it's spinning, it's going to spin longer with the same amount of energy put into it, and it's harder to tilt sideways, so the stability is more than if you have a 16-inch tire. It becomes easier to turn sideways because the MOI, moment of inertia, is further away from the axle, the center point. Um, but that might be getting too much into the weeds, and also I'm not the best person to explain it to you. I know what I have that I look for optimum MOI without it being too much of a rock, or you have to play with the weight overall if you want to push that MOI out. but I didn't take physics, so I'm definitely not going to be able to teach you physics. I just have a understanding in my mind of what makes sense and seems to translate to yo-yo design. Sounds like my freshman physics professor bragging about his $4,000 carbon fiber bike wheels. And what kind of frame did he have? Titanium? What does ANTI stand for? Anti-establishment. That's got too much. Can't play that one. You're not sure, but they are upping it, the ante? Okay. Ante up. Everybody's in for 10 cents. Dealer's choice. We're not doing blinds, we're playing an ante game. That's probably something I should look at. Just see what they're doing over there. See if I like it or not. I want to figure out a video or an online battle style contest. One glitcheroonie. That's not bad. Oop, there's another one to test over here. I thought I was short a yo-yo. Thought I was short a yo-yo.
Come to San Diego and check out Birch Aquarium at Scripps. Powered by the world-class Scripps
What up,
Institute of
Bradley?
Oceanography. Discover the wonders of the underwater world together and see how ocean science can be oh so awesome.
Man, the ads are killing me. Herdsmen are testing well. Very well. One glitch. Let's go. Well, one would argue maybe one or two hand hits, and then you just gotta practice more, right? But I know what you're saying. Good luck half. Well, there was two glitches. I was able to fix one, so that's really good on the rate percentage. Anybody new here? That's how we mark our glitches. Um, I put a little drilled mark underneath where that bearing seat will cover, instead of doing like an engraving or something. And this can't be. The next step would be the NFTs that go with it, right? And you'd have to have that. That glitch is purple. This is a Herdsman mic. This is not the SL1000 Unicorn Storm. And now half the time, after I glitch them, sometimes half the time, sometimes. So half of the sometimes, after I glitch them, they end up smooth. It's got a little hair vibe. I think that's all I got to test today, actually. Yep. The SL1000. I might have one mic if you want to shoot me a message. I don't think I have any glitches left though. I might have a double red A grade left. Um, but those went out as Patreon shipments, so they haven't actually hit the store as a store release yet. I don't have any more. I just had the one order to cover our monthly shipments. Brad, I didn't think about that. I should have gone next level and left them a little note because they picked it out. Maybe next time if I remember. I would open up that box of yo-yos on stream, but I want to make a YouTube video out of it. So I'm going to play with the grunt a little bit to continue to formulate my opinion on it, and let you guys ask a couple more questions if you got them. Green SL1000s. Black stainless steel rims. Green to yellow fade. Black rims. I don't think the grunt needs changed. That'd be 117. Green with gold. Why can't I do it today? There we go. That 30 minutes of yo-yoing, I've done a combination of tricks that could be packed into 20 seconds when compiled together. Gotta spin a little quicker. Matt, this is how you should open up your anti-contest. Old school. Thumb grind. Oh, too quick. Because the yo-yo has to spin with you. I am going to start to experiment with some blasted rims depending on where they lie on the yo-yo. SL1000 was would have been a good spot for it, but the racing made me think bright, not dull. The racing theme. Now that was cool. This is what you guys are here for? I can check what I got. I don't know if I have this one available or not. I only had the double red and the magenta orange. That orange is kind of hard to see in this lighting. So double red's a fade red to red. I'll show you. Where's mine at? But if you don't like red, it is what it is. It's a little orangey in here, but it's really is red. A bright cherry red into a darker bricky red. I do have more SL1000s in the pipeline. I don't know timing wise or what color I got. I got I think two,
All the
maybe
parts you
three.
need at the prices you want. Guaranteed to fit every time. So you can keep your ride or die.
I was gonna do the Pacific fade, but I had just done it on the Elite 23, so I didn't want to overlap. This does look like a little squatty grunt. We don't really have anything undersized. So like we had the Decade, but that was a one-time release. I'm gonna see if Patreon wants an AL7 version of it, and I'll redesign it. But it's kind of like undersized. It's wider, so like even the Banshee 22 is wide. Um, it's pretty close to the Grunt, but the Grunt's a good bit more stout. It's kind of like a. It's just a little more of a little denser yo-yo. Um, just something small, a little different, really. I don't have anything at all that's production in this size, 52.5 millimeter. I don't know how well a green to red, that fade. What's that fade gonna look like? Brown? Probably pretty close to the purple orange, but that doesn't show very much. I don't know. Grunts slaying. Nothing about that makes me think I want to swap something on it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the stream. I feel bad leaving because we got quite a few viewers here today. But thanks for stopping in. We'll continue these streams throughout the winter season. If you're bored at work during these hours, it's a great time. If you haven't checked out our Twitch, sometimes I play video games over there and just chat. Matt, shout out to you today. You had a good question that led to some insightful conversation, and that was kind of good for the stream, so I appreciate you, buddy. Everybody else, appreciate you as well. Just Matt a little bit extra this today.